Hi, it's Carolyn here. I'm a realtor in the very busy real estate market of Miami and Fort Lauderdale. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and my goal here is to impart some of my knowledge to you, whether you be a second home buyer or you're downsizing or even a first-time home buyer. Today, I'm going to discuss two important things you need to ask when you're purchasing in an association, be it a condo association or a housing association. So stick around. Oh, and by the way, if you find the information that I'm going to give you of use, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let's roll.
So after you sign the sales contract and before you're given the keys to your new home, there are several things that you will need to do. You'll need to complete the inspections on the property. You'll need to have the mortgage in place. And one of the other steps is to apply to the condo association if it's in a condo that you're buying, or the homeowners association if it's a property in a homeowners association. And that could be a single family home or a townhouse or a villa. So you'll be required to apply to the Condo Housing Association, and legally anyone over the age of 18 must apply. And FYI, there will be a fee for each individual that applies. Well, that's normally the case. And at that time, you should be supplied with either the condominium documents and or the housing association documents. And those documents really are the history of the property, and they oftentimes will include the guidelines, the rules and regulations of living in that community. Well, it's very windy down here in South Florida, so if that's you hear a wooing noise, that's just the wind. It's nothing spooky at all. When you get your condo application and you're dealing with the management company or the community itself, you should ask for and get the annual budget, and that's what we're going to discuss today. The budget will include the financials. And here are the two things that you need to look for when you look at the finances and the budget for the community. The first thing you need to ask your realtor up front before you even take a step, but if you've gone down through this process, you need to make sure that there is money set aside from the monies that are taken in from maintenance for reserves. And reserves are money for the upkeep and the repair of the community. For example, that would be the landscaping. If there's a community pool, it would be the pool, it would be painting, and so all that to maintain and repair the property. So the first thing is you must look for the budget, and within the budget you must see reserves set aside for each of those repairs and those upkeeps. And it's a good idea to really become familiar, obviously, with the community association to see where there should be money set aside. For example, in a condominium association, you would want to make sure that there's money set aside for a roof repair. So a budget with reserves for different repairs that are needed in the association and the community. So now when you're looking at the budget, and it should be a spreadsheet, something like a spreadsheet, you'll see all the monies that are taken in from all the homeowners. And what you need to see is 10% of that total set aside for reserves. And here is why. Because a bank will loan if there is 10% set aside from the whole in reserves. And that's really important because you want the association to look financially stable. It must be financially stable. I wouldn't advise you to purchase in a community without reserves. So the bank is going to look to see that all the expenses are covered or that there's money being set aside. So if you're downsizing or if you're purchasing a second home or even if you're purchasing your first home, And it's in an association, whether that be a condo association or a housing association. There are two things that you want to look for. One, you want to see the budget, and then you want to see that there is money set aside in the form of reserves to cover expenses. And if it's, you have every right, once you look at those financials, to walk away from the contract if you don't feel happy with the finances and of the community. Well, that's it for this week. I post videos every single Friday, so please stop by. If you have found this video of use, please give it the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I would love to help you. If you have any questions, just put them in the comment box below. Doesn't matter where you are, I'm glad to help. And until next week, toodles.